4, 3.
Chef Fink, it is so nice to be with you, and you're brand new.
Yeah, you're in the kitchen.
I got to be back in the kitchen. I feel
Don't tell other
VIP
people
right
about
now.
this.
What is Henbit?
Okay, so Henbit is the second most prolific wild edible in all of Texas.
Seriously?
And honestly, it grows everywhere. It's in your yard, it's in your house, it's out on the street, and it's a wild nettle. And Henbit, I think for me, is more symbolic than it is everywhere in our menu. It's more about the fact that there's so many amazing things that are from Texas that are right here that we should showcase and be really proud of.
Do you think people know that it's so prolific and around them everywhere?
Absolutely not. In fact, I've seen like 7 people outside of like the geeked out food industry that even know what it is. But we're singing its praises.
Yes, you're educating the masses on what Henbit is.
Yeah.
And what are we making today?
Okay, so we're making our lemongrass shrimp bowl,
Yum.
which is one of my favorite things on the menu. It's essentially Gulf shrimp that are marinated in like a mixture of galangal and lemongrass and bene and chiles and lime juice.
So no flavor whatsoever.
0 flavor. That's what most of what we're gonna do is about very bland things.
That's amazing.
We have Southern style Louisiana rice that we'll make here and kind of crisp up into the style of like a Thai cold crispy rice salad. The best part about that too is everything that you get at Henbit is meant to be cooked. So you order it, it'll beat you in 5 to 7 minutes. Crispy rice. This shrimp is a mixture of pureed bene seeds and galangal and chiles, lemongrass, a little bit of seasoning here. Make sure that that mixture gets over every little bit of this rice, just dressed in this amazing galangal and shrimp. Everything that we do here is seasonal. That's kind of the point of it. When you want to eat something at its peak, you can't have it all the time.
Right.
You're asking for the best of both worlds. And so for us, it's about kind of trusting in we're always going to have something delicious for you. It's always going to be curated to what is the best at that time, and it's going to be more vibrant because of it. So this is a little relish here of kohlrabi and green onions and green tomatoes. Beautiful leeks here. Then I'm going to start to build some height into the dish. Watermelon radish. They're so good and so beautiful. We've been spoiled at Emmer because we get to have so much creative freedom that we kind of keep that same creative freedom here. Cilantro, basil, just because I want it to be pretty. Some French breakfast radishes.
Look at this potpourri of
this is
beautiful things. And this is lunch. Shall we go eat it?
We shall.
How do you think this space represents the Austin food community?
That's a great question. I think that there's so many things to offer and it's so diverse, and yet at the same point, Austin is about being very, I don't want to say casual, but making sure that it's very accommodating. You can come and bring your dogs, you can hang out, and you can sit and watch the bats, and it's just about kind of integrating into what is unique Austin. I've been to a lot of food halls throughout the time. I went to one in Copenhagen and Italy. I think
In the mall food court when you're in middle school.
Oh my God, Sbarro, of course.
I mean, and then Henbit itself has a very special vibe to it.
It's kind of still singing true what is important to us. And to do that in 700 square feet through 5 menu items is really difficult because honestly we have a lot to say. So everything in that space was done with intention. The fact that there's live plants everywhere, the fact that there's textures of wood that you can see.
What is the message that's supposed to be conveyed through those live ingredients?
To me, exactly that you're going to eat something that is fresh, that's sustainable, that's healthy, where we think about things that are compostable, and something that I think should make you feel good.
How'd you get into the restaurant business?
Great question. My dad purchased like a little boutique guest ranch resort when I was 11 years old. I quickly became our groundskeeper and I mowed the lawns, and I dug the city sewers. Then when we were 14, we opened a restaurant. I was the dishwasher there.
Wow.
It was a fine dining restaurant. I quickly realized that I needed to be much better dishwasher than I was. For my whole life, I knew that I was going to be, I was a weird kid. I knew that I was going to be a defense litigator.
Okay, naturally.
Naturally, right? Like every kid's dream.
Yes.
And at that point, I had to decide, like every kid who thinks going to school, that I have to pick my life for the rest of my life. So I could either go to Carleton College and then on to Columbia Law in a 7-year program, or I could go to Cornell for hotel restaurant management. And the restaurant industry was my lifeblood then. It's what I loved, so I went to Cornell. I've been lucky to find that passion. I went over to Italy to cook, and I don't think I ever looked back.
You've received some really major accolades. Congrats to
Thank
you. Is there a lot of pressure after that for your next project?
I think luckily I will say that I've always put a lot of pressure on myself. What you deliver should be something that you're proud of and you believe in and is true to you. Because I can't walk into a food hall or any establishment that I do and do something because I am a Food and Wine Best New Chef. It's because I'm Kevin Fink and it's important to me.
So how do you experience food other places when it's not something you've made?
I am much better now. When I was a kid, and like to all you young chefs out there, you start and I think you're really cynical because you want to be like, I don't know, you like I could do this better. And I think that's a really negative way to go about experiencing things. I think you miss a lot. And today, I think through being a little bit more secure in myself as a cook, as a human, as a new father, less secure as a new father.
Yeah, it's your first child, right?
Yeah, I'm not super secure as a father. I want all of your advice, but also please don't give me any advice about my kids.
Yeah.
I go to be inspired. I go to understand what somebody else's viewpoint on things, and whether that be a great burger at Pizzeri's or a 3-star meal in the hills of Italy. There's different inspiration that you find in everything.
What is some of that advice that you would give someone starting any endeavor?
So I think the first thing is understanding what is true and core to you, what you're going to wake up every day and want to do. Because there's a huge burnout in our industry. And the second thing that I would say is taste is king. It's what is important in all aspects of those things. And to make something taste good, it has to be visually appealing, it has to be treated the right way, and you have to explore all avenues of it.
So it seems like ingredients and relationships with farmers are so important to you.
Why it's so important for me to be intimate and know the people that are growing those things is because it's about trust. And when I tell you that something is local or sustainable or flavorful, that's my reputation. And if I can feed you something that is significantly more vibrant, lively, better, we build trust.
Yeah.
And the same things that I ask for in my farmers is I want them to be people that give everything to them. And so I visit the farms, I talk to them, I ask them what's the best thing that they are producing in that time, and we invest in them. So we went to Istanbul and we went through all the bazaars, and I'm literally the weirdo that's like tasting everything that I've never seen before. It's the same thing in a supermarket. If I go to something and I've never seen what it is, I'm gonna pick it up, I'm gonna smell it, I'm gonna purchase one, I'm gonna cut it in half, I'm gonna try it and experience it there, because I wanna build in my mind this flavor profile and this bank of sensations that happens with something like that. People always ask me too, like, what's my favorite dish, what's my favorite food item, what's my favorite ingredient? And I think like a true chef in that I'm a blank canvas, and so depending on what I'm craving at that time is what I want. Like if I just got done with a run, like I don't want a cheeseburger, like I want something fresh.
You want Amy's ice cream?
I want
Me
Amy's
too.
ice cream, of course, yeah.
After my 5 miles
Yeah.
that I'd never do. So when you have a dinner party that you're hosting or making the food for, what does success look like to you? Is it empty plates? Is it happy people?
At a dinner party, to me, success is something that you will remember forever. It's about something that when 20 years later they tell a story about, and as much as they're going to remember a dish, it's more about a feeling and the connection that you have.
In a moment. I love that.
Yeah.
Chef Fink, thank you so much for
Thank
sharing
you.
this day with us. Shall we eat?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.